My name is Carsten Madsen, and I'm the CEO of Flexa. And Flexa is engaged in children's interior. We have production in Estonia, and we have our European headquarters here in Denmark, in Aarhus. And then in China, we have our sales company in Shanghai, where we have 30 people there, and 250 people in Estonia, and about 70 people here. And we've been around for close to 50 years, so from 1972. I think most businesses, if they are older, they've been rooted in the physical world quite a lot, and the same really goes for Flexa. In the past, we were very much a retail brick and mortar brand, either through shop-in-shops conventionally or through our franchise. We have 150 franchise shops around the world, and so our transition was really more about navigating different channel conflicts to start with. If you go back 10 years. Today, any investigation into what is the right brand, what's the right product, that journey starts online today. So to us, it's clear that we engage with all our new consumers first online. We know that. And so for us, it's important either to be there in our own presence in terms of web, being able to buy from our brand side, or through some of the partners that we have. But I think today's challenge is really that online cannot stand alone. So you need physical stores at the same time. And in the past, it's been much like either or. So either you were in this channel or you were in that channel. And I think that is becoming a lot more into one type of thinking. So when we think online now, for instance, in France, where we just launched our own online solution, we make sure we partner up with our partners in France, share the profits, share the, so whatever you experience in the shop is the same experience you get online, and vice versa. So today we see it as, we don't really see it as two anymore. We see it as, okay, this is how Flexa comes out in France. And the same in China. It doesn't really matter whether you shop Flexa on Tmall or you shop in one of our 100 stores in China. It doesn't really matter. You get the same service. Things get installed in your home. And the brand hopefully should reflect the same values, whether it's online. So I think today it's as a brand, you have to do both. That's definitely the biggest challenge we have right now, especially in Scandinavia, I would say. Germany is a little bit better, UK is a little bit better, because those countries were, e-commerce has been around more for a longer period of time in Germany, UK, and the US. Whereas in Scandinavia, it's still lacking. I'm also a major shareholder in an online furniture company called unoliving.com, and there's also there's a unoliving.se site. So they are in Scandinavia, and it's the largest online retailer for furniture in terms of number of products. There's 20,000 products available. Now, they have such a hard time recruiting because they are pure online. They don't have stores, so they're pure online, and really there's no education backing for all these components, that whether it'll be logistics all the way to customer service all the way to marketing, whatever. It is so different from what the books you read when you study logistics or when you study marketing or when you study services or whatever, because things have changed so fast that the education system has not actually evolved enough to support these businesses. So we are basically asking these companies to train people who might have had an education, and then they get hired by this company, and then the real education actually starts on how to be in an e-commerce company or a digital company, because no foundation has yet been established, in my opinion. So they can go fishing for the same people who had 1 year or 2 year, call themselves e-commerce manager or call themselves something with digital marketing associate, or but really at the end of the day their experience is really very low. It's really very low, and I think that is holding us back as a company, because really we know very clearly that that's the direction we need to take our companies in. But how do we get the talent if it's not there? So I think that's maybe one of the greatest factors for how fast we can change our companies towards digital, is actually, do we have the talent base in Sweden or in Denmark or whatever within this omnichannel thinking? Those companies who were not ready, they're still not ready. And I think the ones that really that survived so far Corona, they were ready, because there was no time. There was no time to get on top of things. It happened so quickly that either you were ready for it, maybe you didn't know how ready you were, but you were ready, and so you had a fantastic help from that. In China, when all our stores closed, we still had 40 to 50% of our turnover, even with 100 stores closed, because they just switched to Tmall or some of the other sites, JD or whatever. And so I think in Europe it was the same thing, that our own online and those partners we had. So it was just really a switch. It takes time. You cannot quickly develop a digital platform or quickly develop something. That it doesn't happen that way. It's taken us maybe 3 to 5 years to get where we are, and even with every year improving and so on. So there is no. So when you talk about sustainable in that sense, I think it's of course now on top of people's agenda to do more digital development, and now we see who can help them. What companies are actually able to do all this work that is needed for these companies to get on top of things. But it will take years. It will take years to. I mean, there is no shortcut here. Of course, you can put something on Amazon tomorrow. I mean, but that's not being digital. I mean, it's a platform and it's great, but I think there's so much more to doing commerce online when it comes to services and logistics and so on. There is no quick fix. I think it just became clear who had it and who didn't. I think that's where we sit today. It's challenging right now with in this situation with COVID and so on, because you're separated a lot more than you used to be. So I guess the task for leaders today is even greater in trying to execute things, but staying in touch with your employees. End of the day, motivation is probably the greatest fuel for any for any organization. And motivation can just be spoken. It doesn't have to be necessarily paid or whatever. And I think as a company, it's important for at least the leadership of that company to be very transparent as to why is this important. It's pretty difficult as an international business, I would say. At Flexa, we export 97% of what we make, and that means the transactions of everything we do is actually far away from where I sit. It's in Korea, it's in China, it's in Singapore, it's in Colombia, it's in San Francisco. So when we talk about execution, it's different levels. But I think being transparent and communicating a lot is probably my answer.